All right, welcome out here to Gerke Park here, Stevens Point. The Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals here tonight hosting the Eagles here of Auburndale in a conference game, week number 6 here in the regular season here. 14 games on the docket for Zaleski Sports here tonight. Brandon Barincott on the call here along with Angelica on our production crew here. We'll start our kind of our pregame here, our auto select pregame. That's Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. They have complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you're good to go. So the Cardinals here hosting, again, the Auburndale Eagles. Stevens Point Pacelli overall record here of 2-3. They are 1-2 in that tough Merriwood CWC Conference. And we'll kind of go through their first 5 games here. They game number 1, the 14-0 victory over Manawa. That was in week 1. And then they fell to Parkview Albany, week number 2, 32-6. And then they fell to Wisconsin Rapids Assumption in week number 3. And then fell to Abbotsford in week 4. And then, of course, last week we were on the call for that one. And Cardinals with a 27-20 victory over the Thunderbirds over in Iola, Scandinavia. So, again, 2-3 overall record here. Some of the stat leaders here for the Cardinals. Jacob Williams, 25 of 53, 47.2%, 289 yards passing, 4 touchdown passes. Jacob also with 225 rushing yards here on the season. Bryce Flaker, the leading rusher here, the leading two-headed monster of Eric Ranke and Bryce Flaker. Bryce, 90 attempts for 381 yards, a 4.2 average. He's got the 4 rushing touchdowns along with 2 reception touchdowns and just over 100 yards in receiving for Flaker. Eric Ranke, the leading receiver here for the Cardinals, 11 receptions, 141 yards, 2 touchdowns, and he has 208 rushing yards, nearly 5 yards per carry, and the 4 touchdowns to go along with that. So turning over to Auburndale, they are 4-1 overall, 2-1 in conference play. Week number 1, they victorious 35-27 over Spencer Columbus. And then a 14-12 victory against Marathon in week number 2. And then a 27-0 defeat at the hands of Edgar in week number 3. And then a 41-0 victory over Pittsville back in week 4. And then last week they got the forfeit win. So they are, again, 4-1, 2-1 in conference. Peyton Weinfurter, the quarterback for this squad, completes nearly 63% of his passes, 27 of 43 for 292 yards, 3 touchdowns, and the 2 interceptions here. Nathan Van Wy, the leading rusher here, 72 carries for 403 yards and nearly 6 yards per carry, 3 touchdowns for Nathan. Receiving, you've got Ray Teska, 16 receptions for 170 yards, 1 touchdown, nearly 11 yards per catch for Ray. So a conference game here. Hard to believe, Angelica. We are already in week number 6. Auburndale, they'll be hosting Abbotsford next Friday night. And Stevens Point, Pacelli, they'll be on the road next Saturday. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff down in Sun Prairie. They'll be playing with Aurora Catholic. So again, looks to be a pretty good night here for some high school football on Zaleski Sports. Again, our pregame show brought to you in part by Auto Select. They are Stevens Point's best choice for auto repairs, maintenance, and tires. They have complete auto repair services with locations on Church Street and on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point and on Schofield Avenue in Weston. No matter your automotive needs, look to Auto Select and you're good to go. We'll take a brief pause here. We'll get our starting lineups brought to you again tonight by Associated Bank, where in every market they serve, Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. That's Associated Bank. We'll take a brief pause here. We'll be back with our national anthem. We'll get our starting lineups. Listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by Hoff Favor Realty.
Pacelli Catholic. And the Eagles of Auburndale High School. A special welcome to our guests from Auburndale. We remind you that interscholastic athletics are an extension of the classroom and that lessons are best learned when the proper respect is given to everyone. Please, let your good sportsmanship show during tonight's game. Pacelli, Auburndale, and the WIAA, thank you for your cooperation. Please rise. Lord, we ask for your guidance and blessing on tonight's game, the players, coaching staffs, officials, and fans. Help us to be humble in victory, gracious in defeat, and remember that all of our abilities are a gift from you. And when the game is done, grant safe travel home to all. In your name, amen. We ask you to please remain standing for the playing of our national anthem.
All right, we are back. Starting lineups here. We'll get our Auburndale defensive starters. Tevin Bauer, the starting end here for Auburndale. Senior Logan Nagel at tackle. Dawson Baird also gets a start at nose tackle. Junior Carter Grassel at linebacker. Russ Teska, the other linebacker here. Joshua Lundgren, the other starting linebacker. Wyatt Molson, the other linebacker, starting tonight. Julian Anderson, one of the two cornerbacks here for Auburndale. Ray Teska, the other corner for the Eagles. Peyton Weinferter at safety. And the other safety is Trevor Trowbridge. The defensive starting lineup here tonight for the Auburndale Eagles. We'll get our offensive starters for Pacelli. Avon Benbenek, the starting left tackle here tonight for the Cardinals. Left guard Peter Bella, the one of two seniors, gets the start back tonight. Junior Owen Hansen, the center, gets his start. Junior Sean Berna at right guard gets the start. Junior Max Nelson, the right tackle here for the Cardinals. Tight end is Porter Boris. The wing, Zane Phyllis, second of two seniors. Freshman Chase Napawaki gets a start at receiver here for the Cardinals. Eric Ranke, the starting fullback for Pacelli. Starting halfback, Bryce Flaker. And Jacob Williams, the signal caller here tonight for the Cardinals. So that is your offensive starting lineup here for the Pacelli Cardinals, head coach by Drew Nelson in his 20th season here for the Pacelli Cardinals. Auburndale head coached by Jay Anderson. Again, week number 6 here in this CWC, Merriwood CWC conference matchup here tonight. out at the Girk out here in Stevens Point. And this is just the second home game here tonight for the Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals. The last 2 weeks they were on the road. The victory last week over Iola Scandinavia, and then they were in Abbotsford 2 weeks ago. So again, head coach Jay Anderson. You've got Brandon Roberson, Cooper Weinfurter, Chad Weinfurter, Fletcher Rabb, and Matt Sievers, the assistant coaches. Pacelli assistant coaches Eugene Schmitz, John Hansen, Rick Berna, Kenny Campbell, and Omari Johnson. So Auburndale kicks off here. That one squibbed down. That's going to be fielded around the 13 or so. And not much going there. And that was Zane Phyllis, the carrier here for the Cardinals. Again, our starting lineup's brought to you tonight by Associated Bank. We're in every market they serve. Associated Bank is committed to uplifting colleagues, customers, and communities to be stronger. That is Associated Bank. So Pacelli will have it first down at their own 15-yard line here to start. You've got Jacob Williams and the two-headed monster of Eric Ranke and Bryce Flaker, our Kozaleski Sports Highlight House players last Friday night. Williams, the give, and a pretty nice run there by Flaker. He'll get up near first down territory, up to about the 25 or so. Yeah, maybe 24, we'll say. 24 and a half. 24 and 3/4. So it will be second and short here. So you've got the two-back set with Flaker lined up to Williams' left. Ranke lined up to the right. Williams working from the gun. The give is to Ranke. He'll go to his right. He'll get through for maybe about 2 or so. The junior Eric Ranke, who, as we mentioned, has 208 yards rushing here for the Cardinals. Leads the team in receptions and receiving yards as well here. So that is enough for the Pacelli first down. And the give is to Flaker. Flaker gets outside a little bit to his right. He's going to get up to about the 30 or 31 or so, where he's brought down, I believe, that might have been Wyatt Molson on the stop. One of a few Eagles there on the hit. Second and about 8 yards or so here for the Cardinals. Stevens Point last Friday got out to that early 14-0 lead. They had the two Bryce Flaker early touchdowns here, and Iola Scandinavia was able to kind of claw back into that, but ultimately Pacelli with a hard-fought victory there. That's not going anywhere, so Flaker, he might have lost some yardage there. And, Tevin Bauer, who has 11 TFLs here for the Eagles, 22 and a half tackles on the season. Pretty eye-popping stats to have 11 TFLs. That is, that's getting it done, I would say. It's going to be third down here from about the 27 or so. Williams back to pass. He's looking over the middle, and that one is going to be picked off near midfield, but there is going to be I think there may be a flag. We'll see what that's. Trevor Trowbridge on the interception there for the Eagles here. So they'll take over. Pretty good field position here near midfield, about the 47 or so. Their own 47. So Williams, just his second interception here in the season. Weinfurter works for the Eagles here. And in motion, that looks to be Teska. And Weinfurter with a nice move. He's going to get outside to his right, still going, getting down to near the 26-yard line or so. Williams, one of the Cardinals, in on that one, along with, I believe that might have been Sean Berna as well. So that'll be good for first down now in Pacelli territory. Ball at the 26-yard line here to go. So Weinfurter had a chance to call that name a few times this summer for the Stevens Point Sixer Legion team, I believe. That was Peyton. Unless I'm thinking of Caden, perhaps. Weinfurter gives it, and a nice give, and making a few nice moves out there, and that's Teska. So Teska, he's got 16 carries for 107 yards and nearly 7 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns on the ground here for the Eagles thus far. As we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, he has 16 receptions as well and 170 yards with a 1 touchdown and nearly the 11 yards. So a very multi-purpose back here for the Eagles. Ball will be around the 2-yard line here. Early going's about 8:32 to go here in quarter number 1. Weinfurter working from the gun. That give is to WIAA, I believe. And that's going to be a good for a touchdown. I believe that was Nathan Van. He's one of the 3 captains here for the Eagles. So I believe that was about a 2-yard scamper there for Van Wy. At about the 8:24 mark here in quarter number 1. The kick is up, and it is going to be good. So Devin Cherney with the PATs, 10 of 12 coming into tonight's game on PATs. Our score here now reads 7-0, Auburndale out front. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group.
When it comes to vehicle maintenance and repairs, Stevens Point knows you can always put your trust in Auto Select. Keeping up with vehicle maintenance is often an inconvenience, but with locations on Highway 10 East and Church Street in Plover, Auto Select will have you back on the road in no time. Enjoy their 3-year, 36,000-mile warranty, along with shuttle service and loaner vehicles for your convenience. Quality, dependable, automotive care experts you can trust in Stevens Point, Plover, and in Weston. At Auto Select, you're good to go.
All right, we are back here. I want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors here tonight. Culligan Water, they specialize in all of your water softener, drinking water, and water filtration systems. You can count on Culligan to keep your water pure and healthy with unparalleled service and convenient delivery options. That's Culligan Water. One of our many game day sponsors here tonight. Again, 14 games on the docket by Zaleski Sports. That one fielded about the 21-yard line, and Zane Phillips, he's going to get a good return out of that one. Zane Phillips, and we saw that last week in Iola, Scandinavia. Zane had that nice kick return for the Cardinals here. He's been running the ball pretty well, I would say, in terms of his production. He's another one of those guys. You might see a few carries go to Zane as well. He's got 5 carries, 27 yards, nearly 5.5 yards per carry. But Pacelli in pretty good field position. They'll take over 1st and 10, ball at the Eagles' 48-yard line here. Williams delayed handoff. I think we're going to get a flag here. I think that's going to be a false start against the Cardinals, so that'll back things up here 5 yards. So now they will be back in their own territory around the 47-yard line or so. So the freshman Chase Napawaki checks in here for the Cardinals. So the early 7-0 lead capped off by that 2-yard touchdown scamper by the senior Nathan Van Wy. Williams back to pass, rolling out to his right. In all kinds of trouble. He's going to get that one away, and that's going to bring up a 3rd down and long here now for the Cardinals. Want to give thanks here tonight also to Ridgetop Exteriors. Just like these players bring their best to the field, Ridgetop Exteriors brings top-tier performance to your home roofing, siding, windows, and doors. Ridgetop Exteriors has the winning strategy to protect your home. Visit ridgetopexteriors.com. So it'll be second down, I should say. I inadvertently said third down. It's 2nd and 15 now for the Cardinals. Williams working from the shotgun. He'll drop back to pass, looking over the middle. He's got a man, and that's Eric Reinke. And that's going to be a first down near about the 20-yard line. So about a 33-yard Williams to Reinke. And, Reinke, again, we talked about a little bit in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show. He comes in here as the leading receiver here for this Cardinals team. Kind of that two-headed monster of Flaker and Reinke. I know I've said that a few times now, but Williams certainly, you see the really see the potential there. That one, that's a busted play. Williams going to take it himself. He's going to get outside to about the 19 or so roughly, where he's taken out of bounds there by, I think that was Julian Anderson. So about a 1-yard gain. That'll bring up second down and 9 yards here to go. Ball at the 19-yard line. Again, that 33-yard completion from Williams. He really has 300 yards passing coming into tonight's contest. Stevens Point Pacelli, typically, historically anyways, kind of a run-first type offense. Give is to Flaker, and he's going to be swallowed up by a host of Eagles. Several Eagles. I think I saw Carter Grossel on certainly one of the Eagles in on that. So 7:15 and counting here in quarter number one. Pacelli, so Napawaki checks back in here. Second down and, third down and about 8 yards here to go. And a pretty nice crowd here at the Gerke here, Community Park, of course, home of the Stevens Point Area Senior High Panthers, EW Stevens Point Pointers, and Pacelli Cardinals. And we're going to get a penalty. I think that's going to probably go against Pacelli here, but we'll see. So that's going to back things up here for the Cardinals. Yeah, the full start penalty, so that'll back things up 5 yards here. So that's going to be down around the 23 or so. The ball around the 23-yard line. Man in motion is Reinke. You got single back with Flaker to his left. Out in the flat to Reinke, and he's going to be met down near about the 20, so about a 3-yard pickup there for Reinke. But a good defensive stance for the Eagles there. About a 4-yard pickup or so. Maybe about a 4th and 8, 4th and 9 coming up here now for the Cardinals. You have to think 4-down territory all the way here. I know we kind of mentioned it a little bit last week, Angelica. Certainly you don't necessarily see a lot of field goals necessarily in high school. You've certainly seen some. I know a couple weeks ago we mentioned it. Edgar had that walk-off field goal, 9-6 down in DeForest. Phyllis, the man in motion. Williams going to take it himself, and he's going to be hit, and that's number 11, Carter Grossel. So I think Bauer also in on that one. So that is where the Auburndale Eagles will take over here at 5:50 to go here in quarter number one. I want to give thanks here to Simplicity Credit Union. Simplicity Credit Union brings home the win with great mobile options and the right loan for your family, your business, or your home. Check them out at simplicity.coop today. That is simplicity.coop today. 1st and 10, ball at the 21 here for the Eagles. Weinfurter working from the gun here. Single back set. I believe that is Van Wy. And still going, and he'll be brought down. Flaker, one of the Cardinals, in on that stop there, but not before Van Wy with a pretty nice run there. He gets up to about the 29.5 or so. At an 8. I guess we don't necessarily, Angelico, go by half yards per se. The math in me always likes to kind of do that, but it's not really how that works. So Weinfurter working from the gun back. Pass. He's going to roll out to his left. He's going to throw down complete, and that's to Teska. And Teska still going strong, gets down to almost the 41, 42-yard line again. We talked about Ray Teska, the 16 receptions, 170 yards, 1 touchdown, 11-yard average per catch here for the Eagles. So he's one of those guys, too. He can beat you in kick return as well. The 9 kickoff returns, 150 yards, nearly 17 yards per carry for the Eagles. So a 1st and 10 ball at the 42-yard line. Weinfurter working from the gun. And handoff, that's going to go to Van Wy. Van Wy still going strong, Van Wy. And it's going to take a number of Cardinals there, down to about the 35. So a 23-yard run there, first down run for Nathan Van Wy, the senior, the 5'10", 187-pound senior here for the Eagles. So 1st down and 10, ball at the 35. So Auburndale now back in Pacelli territory. Weinfurter single back set. That's Van Wy to his right. And going to be swallowed up there. One of the Cardinals in on that. Sean Berna, one of a couple of Cardinals in on that hit. Sean, the junior. The 6', 190-pound junior. So as we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show, Stevens Point Pacelli, just the 2 seniors on this squad. So very junior-heavy team here. 2nd down and 9 from the 34. Weinfurter, and a little trickery there. That's going to go outside to Teska. And Teska running towards the chains here. He's going to be a little short of that 1st down. About a yard or so short. So Teska with a nice run there. The 8-yard scamper. 3:20 and counting here. Ranke in on the hit for the Cardinals. Ball at the 26-yard line. 3rd and about a yard here. Man in motion. That's Teska. Now we're going to get a flag here. We're going to get an offsides here against the Cardinals. So that will move things up here. So that sun setting here along the horizon there, looking off to our west. It's a very scenic sunset here. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 21. They give back to Van Wy. Van Wy going strong, cuts out to his left, and it's going to take a couple of Cardinals to get Van Wy down. He's going to get down near, about the 5 or so, it looks like. So that'll be an Eagles 1st down, 1st and goal, ball around the 5-yard line here. Auburndale, of course, with that 7-0 lead here, ball at the 6. So I stand corrected. And Weinfurter going to take it himself, and we'll wait for the call here. No signal yet. It's going to be close. So that's going to be a little bit short here. That's going to bring up a 2nd here and goal to go. Nearing 2 minutes here to go in quarter number 1. Out at the Mendyke family scoreboard here. Of course, you have all the schools here. Weinfurter to give to Van Wy, and Van Wy is in for the touchdown, and that's a 1-yard run there for Van Wy. at the 153 mark here. So the PAT, that's Devin Cherney, who's 1 for 1 here for extra points. Snap is up, kick is up, and it is good. So the extra point good here. So with 1:53 here remaining in quarter number, scoreboard reads here 14 for Auburndale and the Cardinals here 0. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
And the most important of those things is to have the ability to do things and treat patients in such a way that you're, that you're able to do things in such a way that you're controlling the decisions that are made, and you have that ability to change things when you feel like they're not the best things for you or for your patients, and that's really important.
All right, we are back here. Scoreboard here reads 14-0. Auburndale to kick off. That is the aforementioned Devin Cherney. 2 for 2 here tonight on PATs for the Eagles. I had a chance to talk a little bit to Coach Jay Anderson here again. 4-1 on the season, and their only blemish against Edgar, the very solid Edgar. But as I understand, that was a pretty close game, at least at halftime. At least according, had a chance for a little while to talk to Coach Anderson about that. That was really kind of the second half. But certainly the Wildcats, one of the top-tier teams, not only in this conference, but certainly in the state here in the division. And Auburndale, certainly a very, very good program. Historically has always been very, very solid. You saw guys like Blake Rabb, just to name many of a few from last season. So the Cardinals take over, ball at their own 48-yard line here. Williams, you've got Ranke, the man in motion here. Flaker lined up to his left. Ranke to his right. They're going to give it to Flaker. Flaker cuts outside and trying to get near that the sticks there. He'll pick up about 5 or so. So again, Bryce Flaker, the leading ball carrier here for the Cardinals, came into tonight's game with nearly 400 yards of rushing on the ground with 4 touchdowns. He's got a couple of touchdown receptions. Of course, we saw that, if I remember right, Angelica, 60-yard screen pass last Friday night over in Iola, Scandinavia. It was really kind of something that sort of shifted the pendulum a little bit for the Cardinals. They give it to Flaker. He'll get it out to about the 44 or so, about a 2 or 3 yard gain here for Bryce Flaker. So Sam Westrick checks out. Chase Napwalkie, the pair of freshmen there, getting some pretty quality time early in their high school football careers. Of course, Sam, the younger brother of Ben, who played his football here a number of years ago, graduated back in 2023. So Napawaki near side here. You've got the Flaker and Ranke. Inside handoff. That's going to go to Ranke. Ranke going strong. Little shimmy there. He'll get down to about the 39 or so, and he'll have enough for a Cardinals first down. So Sam Westrick checks back in here for the Cardinals. Sam, again, one of a few freshmen. You've got guys like Marcus Krieger and Nolan Pilarek and Sam Westrick, just to name a few of those freshmen, Holden Grover. So, certainly good to see that. So we're going to get a timeout here. We'll take a brief commercial pause. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
The auto service specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, We've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
All right, we are back. Start of the second quarter here. That was the end of quarter number 1. 14-0, our scoreboard here. Again, the Mendyke family scoreboard out here at Gerke Park here in Stevens Point. I want to give thanks to Express Employment. Express Employment Professionals has relationships with all the local businesses and job openings. Call or stop in at Express Employment to find the right career path for you. That is Express Employment. So the Cardinals, 1st and 10 here. The give is to Ranke up the middle, and he is going to, I'm not sure he'll get back to the original line of scrimmage there. That was a host of Eagles. Dawson Baird, one of the Eagles in on that stop. So no gain there. It'll be 2nd down here and 10 to go. Now maybe they'll give him a yard. We'll see. Actually, going to be a loss of. Yeah, it says 2nd and 31 on the scoreboard. I have a feeling that's not correct. Either way, it'll be 2nd down here. Williams 2-back set. Working from the gun. Rolling to his right. Going to pitch it out to Flaker. Flaker spins to his left. Gets down to around the 43. So that's going to be a 3-yard loss for the Cardinals. It's going to be 3rd down and 14 yards here to go. Cardinals in Eagles territory, looking to try to maybe shift the pendulum just a little bit here in this one. Auburndale with 2 touchdown runs by Nathan Van Wy, again the rushing leader here for the Eagles. Williams, he'll roll to his left. He's going to look to take it himself. Williams scrambling. He's going to get down, still going strong. Going to get down to about the 25 or so. And about a 17, 18-yard run there for Mr. Williams. And he's another one of those guys that can beat you with his legs as well. We talked about a little bit of our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show. 225 rushing yards to go along with those 289 passing yards. So a little bit of that kind of dual threat quarterback, we'll say, the junior. So it'll be 1st down and 10 here from the 25. They give to Flaker. Flaker gets down to about, maybe get a yard or so. He's bottled up by a host of Eagles. Grossel, one of the Eagles there. So it'll be about a yard pickup there for Flaker. Sam Westrick checking back in here for the Cardinals. And a timeout going to be called. We'll keep it right here, though. 9:39 here to go in half number 1. Today's game is brought to you in part by Blinds and Designs by Kelly, Premier Auto Body, Dahl Automotive, Stevens Point Brewery, Lee Ayers Jewelers, Point Heating and Cooling, and Portesi Pizza. So Coach Nelson maybe saw something he didn't necessarily like, not sure, or maybe just a chance possibly to get a little bit of extra rest for some of the Cardinal starters here. Certainly a lot of these guys play both ways. Certainly not uncommon, I guess, but still certainly is something that can sort of create issues from time to time. I want to give thanks here tonight also to Nicolay Bank. Nicolay Bank offers personal banking at its best. Locations in Stevens Point, Wausau, Colby, Medford, Edgar, and Merrill. Or learn more at nicolaybank.com. That's nicolaybank.com. So the 9:39 mark here to go. Pacelli on the run here. Or on the move, I should say. 2nd and about 9 or so. Williams with a single back set. Ranke, the man in motion. The pitch out to Ranke. He'll go outside to his left. Tries to cut outside. He'll get down near the 20-yard line or so, where he's brought down here. So it's going to be all at about the 21-yard line here or so. So it's a third down coming up for the Cardinals. Third and about 5 or 6, roughly. Or third and 50 is the... it's about third and 5, we'll say. Third and 6 maybe here. So Pacelli on the move here. Pretty nice drive. Reinke, the man in motion again. They're going to give it to Flaker, and he's going to be swallowed up there. And let's see who that was on the stop there. I believe that was big number 60, Tevin Bauer, the senior, the 6 foot, 175-pound senior on the stop here. So the ball's going to be around the 24 or so, it looks like. 4th and 9 coming up here. Have to think 4-down territory at this juncture. Angelica would agree with that. She's thinking 4-down territory as well. Williams works out of the shotgun, drops back to pass, and he's going to shoot it over the middle. Pass over the middle. That's broken up in coverage there. And that is where the Eagles will take over. So the pass deflection there. I think that might have been Peyton Weinfurter in coverage there, the pass deflection there. The PD or the PDEF in the stat book. So timeout will be called. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Meda Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Meda Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at medacustom.com.
All right, we are back. 8:46 to go here in half number 1. I want to give thanks tonight to all of our game day sponsors. Mutual of Wausau Insurance, protecting homes, farms, and businesses since 1875. Visit mutualofwausau.com to find an agent near you. So Auburndale again takes over here. They'll be back in their own territory. Ball will be around the 24 or so here, where they'll take over. They're pretty good defensive series there for the Eagles. Pacelli certainly was on the move. So you've got Nathan Van Wy, the senior, already a pair of touchdowns. The man in motion there, that's Teska. Van Wy is going to take it up to nearly the 30 or so. Going to be about a 5-6 yard gain there for Nathan. And it looks like Eric Reinke maybe a little shaken up on that one. He was first in on the hit there, and that's looks to be Porter Boris now checking in here for the Cardinals. Two receiver near side here. Weinfurter back to pass, drops back. And that one's thrown up, and that's going to be, and they'll say he was out of bounds there. That was, I believe that was Will Akins. Well, that'll fall incomplete here. Third down and about 4 yards here to go. Game is generally, I would say, Angelica, moving fairly quickly here. Of course, last Friday was a tough night for a lot of high school football with all the weather delays and the like. That Pacelli Aula Scandinavia delayed nearly, that was over an hour, I guess. And that one to give here, and that's going to bouncing off, spinning around, and that's Van Wy, another nice carry for the senior. And that was Owen Hansen, one of the Cardinals, in on that. Looks to maybe be a little bit shaken up, but looks to be okay here. Under 8 minutes here to go in half number one. Ball around the 40 here for the Eagles. Weinfurter working out of the gun here. Screen out into space to Teska. Teska down the left sideline here, and he'll take it out to nearly the 31-32 yard line here. So about a 28 yard pickup there for Teska. And as we mentioned, Teska, the leading receiver here for this Auburndale Eagles squad. So about the 34, so that was about a 26 yard pickup there for Teska. Weinfurter single back to his left there, and Van Wy. Van Wy cuts outside, and Flaker with a nice open field tackle there. That was Bryce Flaker. So Flaker, one of those productive two-way players, certainly. He has 20 tackles for this Cardinals defense, a couple of TFLs as well for Bryce, and again, the leading rusher here for the Cardinals. So Weinfurter rolling out to his left. He's going to throw downfield, and that's going to be overshoots Ray Teska there, the 5'8", 155-pound junior. Falls incomplete. So it'll bring up about a third down and 7 or 8 yards here to go. And Auburndale on the move again here. They have the 14-0 lead. And you saw them, they the last in action, a 41-0 victory over Pittsville, the Panthers, a couple weeks ago. And Weinfurter going to take himself. He's going to get back up to about the 29 or so. We'll see where they mark that one. For Peyton, the 2-yard pickup. Pacelli with the 1 timeout remaining here in the first half, and Auburndale with 3 timeouts left. So 4th and 5, ball at the 29. Weinfurter, you've got Teska in motion. And timeout's going to be called here. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hofffavor Real Estate Group.
My grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
All right, we are back. Want to give thanks here tonight to Little Scholars Childcare, Little Scholars and Little Scholars Beginnings, our 2 beautiful childcare and preschools in Stevens Point, offering early child learning for infants through 4K. You'll find great facilities and a comfortable environment to help your child grow. Visit littlescholars.com. That is littlescholars.com. So it's going to be a 4th down coming up here for Auburndale. Weinfurter. He's going to roll out to his right. Looks like he's going to take it himself. He'll get the first down and then some, where he'll be pushed out of bounds there. And about a 7 or 8 yard pickup or so. About a 7-yard gain there for Weinfurter. Another one of those guys that can beat you with both his arm and his legs here. 25 carries on the ground and 113 yards and 4 touchdowns for the senior signal caller. Getting outside, and Weinfurter in for the 22-yard touchdown run. So Weinfurter, the 22-yarder there. At the 5:41 mark here in quarter number 2. So the scoreboard now out at Gerke reads 20-0. And lining up here for the PAT is Devin Cherney. The kick is up, and it is good. So Cherney now 3 of 3 on extra points here tonight. So it is now 21-0 here, 5:41 here to go in half number 1. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto.
I referred to the orthodontist, and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here, and he was very happy with the smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointment, the wait is really short. All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile. Call us to set up your free consultation.
All right, we are back here, 5:41 to go here in half number 1. Auburndale to kick off. That one's kicked by Cherney there, fielded around the 22 or so. That is, I believe that's Westrick on the carry there for the Cardinals. We're going to get a flag on that one. Sam Westrick, the freshman. The kick return duties there for Sam. Flag thrown here. We'll see what that's all about. I think we're going to get a face mask here against the Eagles. So that's going to move things up here ever so slightly here for the Cardinals. Eric Reinke looks to be a little shaken up, jogging a little bit on the sidelines. Looks to be okay. There, the trainer there, the infamous Amanda Vieira. Of course, Amanda and Brad Vieira, big-time Pacelli supporters here. Amanda, the athletic trainer here for the Cardinals, doing a great job as always. So it'll be first down, 10 yards here to go. Ball at the 30 here for Williams, who works under center. We're going to get movement, and we're going to get a false start. That's going to go 5 yards against the Cardinals. Want to give thanks here tonight to Schwartz's Seamless Roofing. Does your roof need attention? Well, call Schwartz's Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield today. They are your hail damage experts, and they serve all of central Wisconsin with both residential and commercial roofing. That is Schwartz's Seamless Roofing. So Pacelli certainly can't necessarily afford to have too many injuries. Certainly, by my math anyways, about 19 athletes. High snap. Flaker trying to make something out of really not much, and that's not going anywhere, and that's going to be a loss of yardage there for the Cardinals. Flaker able to wrangle that one in, however, that had the potential to be considerably worse, but at least Flaker able to come up with that. So checking in for Auburndale, that's Jack Zenner, the 5'11 senior here for the Eagles, I believe. So second and long here for the Cardinals. They need to get up to about the 40 or so. So second and 22 yards coming up here for Pacelli. Williams working under center. He's going to pitch it out, and he was a whole bunch of pressure there. Gets in the backfield. Williams really didn't have much to do with that one. A couple of Eagles in on the pressure there for Auburndale. So 4:36 and counting here in half number one. So you've got Nathan Van Wy with a pair of touchdowns tonight for Auburndale, and then the 22-yard touchdown run by Peyton Weinfurter. It's virtually been all Auburndale in this early goings in first half. Williams able to somehow get out of that, and he's going to continue to kind of keep churning there for some yardage. He'll get about 7 or so, but he's going to be well short of those first down sticks. So in all likelihood, based on where the Cardinals at, you have to think punting here, no doubt. Zane Phillips, along with Eric Reinke. I know Zane has been punting some here for the Cardinals. Marcus Krieger, the freshman, checking in there for Pacelli. Of course, the younger brother of Tyson Krieger. Phillips punt, that one's going to be fielded around the 45 or so, and that's going to be on the ground, and we'll see. And it looks like Auburndale got back on that, at least from what it looks like here anyways. And that is where they will take over, first down and 10 yards for the Eagles here. I want to give thanks tonight to Infinity Exteriors. Infinity Exteriors installing peace of mind roofing, siding, and windows that are built to last. Saving our communities from unscrupulous contractors, we guarantee quality that you can trust. That is Infinity Exteriors. So 3:45 here to go in half number one. It's been all Auburndale, as we mentioned here, with the pair of touchdown runs by Nathan Van Wy. And then a 22-yard run by Peyton Weinfurter. Auburndale had that really 14-0 lead in the first quarter. And we'll see, we've got a whistle here. Maybe a clock operating 3-4-5, I think, is what Coach Eugene Schmitz there signaling to the clock crew here. And Eugene likes what he sees, so now 3:45. And a chance to talk to Coach Schmitz before the game a little bit as well. So that'll be 1st and 10 here for Auburndale. Weinfurter working from the gun. Pass out to Teska there in space. He's going to get down to about the 43, 44. He'll get a couple yards on that one. About a 2-yard pickup there. Williams, one of the first in on the hit there for the Cardinals. 2nd and 8 here. Weinfurter gets it outside. Going to get near that first down marker there. That's junior Will Akins there, the 6'4", 172-pound receiver there. So 6'4", certainly that's going to certainly give a lot of defensive coordinators fits, you'd have to think, that 6'4" size. That wingspan as well. So 3:04 and counting here to go in half number one. Near side, you've got swing it back out to Teska there, and he'll be swallowed up there about the 35 or so, 34. And Porter Boris, the junior, we kind of mentioned it last week. Porter Boris doing Porter Boris-like things on the hit. He's one of those defensive stoppers here, 17.5 tackles, 5 tackles for loss on this young season. Just, again, the junior in Porter Boris. Weinfurter going to take it himself. Pretty good space there. Weinfurter makes a couple guys miss. Spin, still going. And Weinfurter, how he did that, that's a little Houdiniac there for Peyton Weinfurter, the 34-yard touchdown run for Weinfurter. his second here tonight. And Weinfurter looked like maybe he was going to possibly get bottled up in another situation where able to make a whole lot of something out of what potentially might not have been much. Fourth extra point up, and it is good. So the fourth PAT here tonight for Cherney. So our scoreboard now reads 28 for Auburndale, the Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals 0. 2:17 here to go in half number one. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Hey Gilbert, did you hear Mittens in Marshfield's running a huge anniversary sale and the savings are explosive?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a great deal on some furniture and take it easy this semester.
Anniversary? Already? Party!
Ah, Poindexter's lost again.
Oh my cookies!
This store is huge and everyone is so friendly.
You'll geek out over our huge anniversary savings at Mittens in Marshfield.
All right, Angelic giving me the proverbial thumbs up here, meaning we are back here. Zaleski Sports, 2:17 here to go in half number one. Want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors here tonight. Valley Communities Credit Union. For 90 years, Valley Communities Credit Union has been part of your hometown team. Local, trusted, strong Valley Communities Credit Union, where community comes first. Federally insured by the NCUA. That is Valley Communities Credit Union. Auburndale to kick off here. Cherney 4 of 4 here on extra points here for the Eagles. He came in here 10 of 12 coming into this season. Line drive kick fielded around the 20. I think they're going to say he was down, and that's where the Cardinals will take over. Ball will be around their own 20 or so yard line. So Weinfurter with a couple of touchdown runs here tonight. Had that 34-yarder at, well, technically about 2 seconds ago. And then he had that 22-yard run with 5:41 remaining in this quarter. So Weinfurter with a pair of scores here in quarter two. And then you had Nathan Van Wy with a pair of touchdown runs in quarter number one. So Flaker, the single back here for the Cardinals. Williams, and he is going to be brought down and going to be a loss of about 4 or so there for Williams and the Cardinals. So the freshman Chase Napawaki checks back in here for Pacelli, as does freshman Marcus Krieger. Dominic Sackman checks out here for Pacelli. So Williams under center here for Pacelli. We're going to get movement here. I think that's going to be, that will go against Auburndale. So Pacelli will get about almost all of those yards back that they lost in the previous play. Second and about 9 yards here to go. Minute 35 and half number one. And Auburndale ranked number 20 in our most recent Zaleski Sports rankings here. Williams back to pass under center, looking for it, going outside and in coverage there. That's number 20, Trevor Trowbridge, who already has an interception here tonight in coverage. That one intended for number 23. That was Porter Boris, who started here tonight as our tight end for the Cardinals. And good defense there by Trowbridge. Again, has that interception already here tonight. Both Julian Anderson and Josh Lundgren, both with a couple of interceptions this season. Ray Teska, Jack Zenner, and Russell Teska, each with an interception coming into tonight's game. Williams flushed out. He's going to go out to his left, gets up to about the, I'm going to say, maybe about the 16 or so. Timeout here by Auburndale. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
For the best food in town, look no further than Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. This locally owned, 50s-themed diner loves to support their community while providing a full menu of breakfast and lunch options, along with all-day breakfasts and Friday fish fry. Enjoy a fun, family atmosphere with delicious meals made from scratch, including skillets and tasty burgers. Dine in or take out is welcome, Mondays through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Treat yourself to a mouth-watering experience at the Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point.
All right, we are back, Angelica says, and I'll tell you what, Angelica keeps all of us in line every week, week in and week out, so we definitely could not do anything without any of our very great production engineers. So it's going to be 4th and long here for the Cardinals. Deep in their own territory, punting situation, no doubt. And that's Phyllis, and that one going to bounce around the 38 or so. That'll a little backspin. So that's going to back a little backspin on that. So Auburndale will have pretty good field position here with 1:04 remaining. And again, it's been all Auburndale in this first half. You see Eric Ranke over there on the sidelines. Looks to be moving okay. A little shaken up, no doubt, but he's one of those very productive offensive and defensive players for the Cardinals. Certainly the defensive stalwart as well. So 1:04 here to go. And you've got Josh Lundgren there lined up. Beg your pardon, that looks to be Teska, far side there. Weinfurter back to pass. He's got a man, and that one is going to go through, and that's going to fall incomplete to Ray Teska there. So it'll bring up 2nd down and 10 yards here. Exactly 1 minute here to go in this first half. You see the Pacelli logo, the UW Stevens Point logo, of course, and the Stevens Point Area Senior High logo. Spash plays their home high school football game. Certainly a very nice venue to play football. Of course, the UW Stevens Point Pointers play here. They are off to a 3-0 start. One of their better starts in a number of years, we'll say, for the Pointers. They'll be back on the road next Saturday over in Platteville. Pointers on a bye week this weekend here. And a couple of Pacelli Cardinals playing collegiately for the UW Stevens Point Pointers. Of course, Bryson Cashin, the school's all-time rushing leader, and Brock Berencott. So a couple of Cardinals playing at the next level. Of course, Chase Lyons playing his college football down at St. Norbert's. So a big penalty there. That's going to move things up considerably here for the Eagles. That's going to push them up to about the 18-19 yard line, I believe. So Van Wy there lined up to Weinfurter's right. Weinfurter looking to pass, and he's got a guy, and that's going to be a touchdown, and that's going to be Will Akins. And that was 18-yard touchdown reception. At the 55-second mark. Cherney's 5th extra point. That one is up, and that is good. So Cherney now good all 5 attempts here tonight. He's 15 of 17 on extra points by my math, at least. So 35-0. Our score will stay right here. We'll have just under a minute here to play here in this first half. It's virtually been all Auburndale here in this one. You got the couple of scores by Nathan Van Wy in quarter number 1, the couple of scores then for Peyton Weinfurter in quarter number 2, and then of course that 18-yard touchdown pass from Weinfurter Aikens. And as we mentioned here, the 5 extra points here for Devin Cherney. And I tell you what, if you can convert extra points, that is certainly it's never necessarily a give me in a lot of games, but Devin Cherney certainly has been, certainly don't want to jinx Devin by any stretch, but virtually automatic. That one is going to be line drive over to Westrick about the 20 or so. Beg your pardon, I think that was Phyllis. That was Phyllis, the senior. Just the one of 2 seniors here on this this Pacelli squad here. Zane Phyllis and then Peter Bella Jr. Pacelli certainly, pretty formidable group of juniors, though, no doubt. So you have to wonder if Pacelli will. And they're going to give it to Flaker. Flaker going to rumble through to about the 32 or so, gain of about a yard or so, and that is going to mark the end of half number 1 here out at Gerke Park here in Stevens Point, where our halftime score is the Auburndale Eagles 35, the Cardinals here of Stevens Point, Pacelli 0. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield. Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
At Ridgetop Exteriors, we're more than your average home improvement company. We're your neighbors, and for over 20 years, we've been trusted and proudly serving right here in your community. Customer service is our #1 goal. Call now for your free estimate.
Ridgetop Flooring and Furniture, we sell products that look good and products that last.
You want a great selection at a great price and a company that stands behind their products? You will find Wolfcraft, Ashley, Marshfield Furniture, and more.
Looking to get the best sleep of your life? We have a mattress for you. Get a 15-year non-paraded high-bred mattress for only 25 cents a night, and we also carry adjustable beds. When it comes to flooring, furniture, and mattresses, it's easy. Come to R&R Flooring and Furniture today. That's all it takes.
All right, we are back. We are at the half here. 35-0 our score here out at halftime. And we'll run through the first half scoring here. We'll start, obviously, Auburndale here with the 5 touchdowns here tonight. They got things started in quarter number 1. You get the Nathan Van Wy 2-yard touchdown run at the 8:24 mark in quarter number 1. The extra point then by Cherney was good, making it 7-0. And then about 6.5 minutes or so after that, at about the 1:53 mark, you get a 1-yard touchdown run by Van Wy, his second of the night. And the Cherney extra point good at that point, making our score 14-0. And then Quarter number 2, you get the 22-yard touchdown run there from Peyton Weinfurter, and the Cherney extra point good at that point, making it 21-0. And then about 3.5 minutes later, Weinfurter strikes again on the 34-yard touchdown run with 2:17 remaining, and the extra point by Cherney good at that point, making it at that point 28-0. And then Will Akins, then the recipient of an 18-yard Weinfurter touchdown pass with just under a minute to go in quarter number 2. The 5th extra point then by Cherney good, and that is our score here. Pacelli certainly has had a hard time in terms of the offensive abilities here in this first half. I believe about I've got about 52 yards or so on the terms of offensive production. I may be off by a few yards, perhaps. A lot of times Angelica will sort of fact check me on that. We certainly want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors. That's Bruce Orthodontics. Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for patients of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office and accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they're changing lives one smile at a time. Set up a free consultation today. So again, we are at the half here, just under 11 minutes here in this half here. We'll bring it right back here in just a few moments. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight, one of many games here on Zaleski Sports. Brought to you tonight by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Is your business, church, or organization getting a fair deal on your copier contracts? Do you even know how much you're spending? Bauernfeind Business Technologies has been in the office technology industry for 70 years. We have an award-winning service department, and customers love our fair and flexible service contracts. If you're currently a customer, thank you. If you currently work with one of our competitors, let's talk. We can tell you if you're overpaying or getting a good deal. BBT, we want to be the easiest vendor you work with. B-BT.com.
Team members in our lives, whether it's this or that or friends, and he's my team member that looked for my best interest. And he said, we're going to get you up walking without the walker. And I'm like, oh, really? And he says, yeah, we are. I'm really grateful from the bottom of my heart to Shai and his staff because they made the impossible seem possible.
Call to set up a free, no obligation evaluation. Next Step Prosthetics, the fit for you.
You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture. Hi, this is Jill from Home Furniture and Design. Since 1970, in 4 generations, our family has been proudly offering quality furniture like Lazy Boy, Serta, and Amish to Central Wisconsin. We also offer free in-home design with our professionally trained designers to help you create a space that is uniquely yours, whether it's just a sofa or the entire home. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love home furniture. West Grand Avenue, Wisconsin Rapids, and Post Road in Plover.
Hey, you're tuned in to Better Halves.
Skip, I love my hometown, and I want a health plan that feels the same way. So, what are your favorite local date spots?
Oh, yeah, I know like all the date spots in Eau Claire.
Jane, I'm Steve from Security. I've lived here in Wisconsin my whole life, and that means I understand your health coverage needs better.
By the way, Doug, it's Eau Claire. I have a dozen Eclairs in my dressing room.
All right, we are back here again. Our scoreboard here out at Gerke Park here in Stevens Point. 35-0 in this first half. Pacelli, they will be back in action next Saturday. They will be on the road. They'll actually be down over in Sun Prairie. We'll have that game on Zaleski Sports. That'll be I guess you would almost maybe say kind of a neutral site. They'll be playing Aurora Catholic, an Illinois school. But they'll meet roughly around the halfway point, depending on how you might map that out over in Sun Prairie. I believe that's a 1 o'clock kickoff next Saturday. And Auburndale, they're going to be hosting Abbotsford next Friday night. That should be what I would call a bit of a Jim Dandy of a football game. 2 very, very formidable football programs going at it, Abbotsford and Auburndale. Of course, that conference is just an unbelievably talented football conference. You've got so many of those teams like obviously Auburndale and Abbotsford. You've got Edgar. Just very, very solid conference. You've got Wisconsin Rapids, Assumption, the Royals playing some pretty good football here in the early goings here in this very tough Merriwood CWC conference. Of course, you've got the aforementioned Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals, the Iowa Scandinavia Thunderbirds, Pittsville Panthers. Just a very, very solid conference. But again, that's going to be a good football game, I have to think, where Auburndale, again, hosting Abbotsford. Abbotsford has been one of those teams that has been really just kind of tearing it up, I'll say, in this early goings of this season here. Again, we're at the half, about 6.5 minutes or so. We'll have our second half here momentarily when we come back here. And you're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
In every department at Dull Auto, you'll find people who've been in the industry for decades. Sales staff with a deep knowledge, not just of cars, but how to build relationships. A service team who always double checks each other's work. Dozens of people you may never meet who've been working for years to make buying and servicing a car feel fast and easy. In over 100 years at Dull Auto, we've learned to value experience. After working with our team, you'll value our experience too. Dull Auto.
Are you tired of being a boring old tree, bird, or mythical war hero? Find the right job for you at Express Employment. Stop today and discuss positions that fit your abilities and qualifications, leading you to the perfect job. Always local, always strategically selected to match your skill set with local employers. There's a perfect job out there. Let Express Employment professionals help you find it. In Wausau, Stevens Point, Medford, and Marshfield. Find jobs and apply online at expresspros.com.
Hello, Wisconsin. Phelps Dairy Store in Stevens Point is your spot for family fun. Wisconsin style at the farm. Come have an ice cream or some of their daily made fresh cheese curds while observing the robotic barn milking the cows. Ask for a tour of the farm or let the kids see the cows up close. Various Wisconsin-made dairy and beef products, seasonal decor, and outdoor activities are just the start of the family fun that awaits you at the Phelps Dairy Store, just a half mile from Walmart in Stevens Point. Phelps Dairy Store, food, family, and fun.
The most important of those things is to have the ability to do things and treat patients in such a way that you're, that you're able to do things in such a way that you're controlling the decisions that are made, and you have that ability to change things when you feel like they're not the best things for you or for your patients, and that's really important.
All right, we are back out here again at the half. Just over 4 minutes or so here. Certainly just a little bit beyond that. In fact, here again, 35-0 our score here. Good night here for some high school football here. Hard to believe that we are already in week number 6 of this high school football season. As we mentioned, the Cardinals, they'll be back in action next Saturday on the road. And I know I've said it a few times, but again, Abbotsford Auburndale next Friday night. And that will be a very, very, very good football game between two very perennial conference football squads in this tough CWC Merriwood Conference. I'll run down one more time here the scoring in half number 1 here. Van Wy with a 2-yard touchdown run at the 8:24 mark in quarter number 1. Ensuring the extra point was good. Van Wy then with the 1-yard touchdown run, followed up by the Cherney extra point, at that point making it 14-0. And that was at the 1:53 mark in quarter number 1 remaining. And then Peyton Weinfurter, really kind of that story in the second quarter. He rushed for a couple of touchdown runs, a 22-yard run at the 5:41 mark. And then he had the 34-yard touchdown run at the 2:17 mark. And then he was able to connect with Will Akins on an 18-yard touchdown at, that was about the 55-second mark there left. So Weinfurter throws for the score and rushes for a couple scores in that second quarter. I'll take a brief pause here. We'll bring it right back here for half number 2. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
The Auto Service Specialist at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service can change your oil, fix your brakes, align your vehicle, make that check engine light go away, and more. Great service from great people at Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Find your location at SherrillTire.com.
Looking for a place where everyone feels at home? Welcome to Point Brewery, your family-friendly tap room with something for everyone. From a wide variety of local brews to classic Point sodas for the kids, we've got the perfect pour for everyone. Craving a bite? We've got hot, cheesy Portesi pizzas ready when you are. Whether you're hanging out inside or soaking up the sun in our outdoor beer garden, there's space to unwind. Planning a celebration? Reserve our private event room and make it a gathering to remember. Point Brewery, good times, great taste, all on tap.
Maida Custom Apparel, your local source for quality, custom decorated clothing and products. Discover a wide range of products from corporate casual wear to team uniforms, promotional items, sporting goods, and awards. Don't settle for less. With our in-house production, we will make your name or event stand out with custom sports jerseys, branded cooler bags, and personalized can coolers. Celebrate team success with custom awards and promotional items. At Maida Custom Apparel, we put your brand first. Explore your options today at MaidaCustom.com.
Grandparents worked so hard their whole life to keep things nice. You want to make sure that you're getting the job done correctly. At no point did I feel like I wasn't being handled by professionals. They were literally taking it on a surgical level, it seemed. Like they were very, very thorough on every step. I feel like Infinity treated my family with the same respect they would have treated their own. I feel like my house is brand new again.
Selling your car to Dahl Auto is quick and easy. Bring your title and keys, and you'll have a check in as little as 30 minutes. Still owe money on your vehicle? No problem. We'll take care of it. Dahl Auto. Simple.
All right, we are back here. Cardinals back out on the field along with the Eagles here of Auburndale. Milwaukee Brewers all tied up at 1 apiece here with the Cincinnati Reds. The hard to believe the last regular season series here with the Cincinnati Reds here, and Milwaukee certainly has been working on a historic season, one for the ages, but still a lot of baseball left with the playoffs. Hard to believe that, Angelica, that's just really kind of right around the corner here. One of my favorite times of year, certainly football and baseball all in one season here. You really can't, in my mind, beat that. You have playoff baseball, you have high school, college football, NFL football, of course. Of course, all the other fall sports, volleyball and cross country, and girls tennis as well. So just a lot of good things going on this time of year. The only downside is the days tend to get a little bit shorter every day from September 21st through December. So that's kind of the one downside. But certainly when it comes to sports, really can't beat the seasons here. So we're going to take one more pause here. We'll bring it back here. We'll have half number 2 just moments away here. And the Cardinals, along with the Eagles, kind of going through their final stretching activities before half number 2. Again, you are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
I got referred to the orthodontist, and I was really nervous, but in my 2-year process, the staff was very welcoming and very kind to me. My brother also had treatment here, and he was very happy with the smile. I'd recommend Bruce Orthodontics to all my friends and family that want a beautiful smile just like us.
When I come in for my appointment, the wait is really short.
All of the workers are very kind and sweet. They try to make sure that everything in my mouth is just right after my checkup, and Dr. Bruce is very nice.
I'd love the opportunity to meet you and transform your smile.
Call us to set up your free consultation today.
All right. Half number 2 coming up here. Zaleski Sports. Brandon Berencott on the call here tonight. Angelica doing our production engineering here. So a whole half here to go. As we've mentioned a few times now, the Eagles certainly all Auburndale in half number 1. And if I'm not mistaken anyways, I believe we have running clock at this juncture, I believe. And certainly a lot better night for football weather-wise, certainly, than last Friday. Last Friday we had that hour and 15-minute weather delay. But I tell you what, athletic director Dave Judds over in Iowa Scandinavia handled it like a professional, did just a great job. And certainly we had a chance to talk both with Eric Reinke and Bryce Flaker, the Zaleski Sports Highlight House players. Tough to kind of keep focus on a weather event like that. Pacelli will kick off. That one's going to go down and get down to around the 26 or so. That is where Auburndale will take over here. We want to give thanks here tonight to Bruce Orthodontics. Bruce Orthodontics provides comprehensive orthodontic care for patients of all ages. They are now accepting new patients at their Marshfield office and accept most insurances. At Bruce Orthodontics, they're changing lives one smile at a time. Set up a free consultation today. That is Bruce Orthodontics. So ball at the 26-yard line here. Auburndale, of course, as we mentioned here, Angelica with that 35-point lead, which equates to a running clock. So Weinfurter, who has done a little bit with both his arm and his legs here tonight, to give Chernin for some pretty hard yardage there. And that is Nathan Van Wy on the carry. Max Nelson, the junior, with a stop. Of course, Max, the son of Drew and Sarah Nelson, head coach Drew Nelson, who we mentioned in our Stevens Point Auto Select pregame show here tonight. In his 20th season here at the helm for the Stevens Point Pacelli Cardinals. Of course, you had longtime head coach Bob Rochek. You can't ever go a week, at least I can't, without at least mentioning head coach Bob Rochek, the legendary Bob Rochek. That one, a short gain here for Van Wy. He may have lost a couple on that one. So it'll be 3rd down and 5 yards to go here. Ball at the 31-yard line for the Eagles. Akins checks out here. Of course, Akins had that 18-yard touchdown reception from Weinfurter with just under a minute to go in the half. So 3rd and 5 coming up here, 9:50 to go here in quarter number 3. Weinfurter works from the gun here. He'll roll out to his right, and he'll complete the pass. And that is number 20, Trevor Trowbridge, with a reception there, the 5'11 senior. He's also got an interception here tonight on the defensive side of the football here for the Eagles. So that out to about the 46 there. Number 56, I believe that was junior Sean Berna with a tackle. Sean with 32 tackles on the season coming into tonight's game, and 5 TFLs as well. Van Wy with a lot of space there, cutting down to his left. One man to beat, and Williams. And they're going to... Williams able to get him out of bounds. So no official right now, by all indications, it doesn't look like we're getting a signal yet for the score. And it looks like Auburndale, so Van Wy, so they're going to have a touchback here. They're going to say a fumble there through the end zone. Boy, tough to see from my angle anyways. But Pacelli will be the beneficiary of that one. So that, Van Wy, certainly a really nice looking run there. And Pacelli will have it now at their own 20-yard line. 1st and 10 here, under 8 minutes to go. Of course, that running clock in the second half here. Flaker spins around, still churning for a couple yards perhaps for Bryce. Bryce, I know we mentioned it here a couple times, the leading rusher here tonight, nearly 400 yards on the ground for the Cardinals. So he'll get a gain of 1 there for Flaker. 2nd and 9 coming up here from the 21. Williams works out of center, 2-back set here. Looks like the blitz package, and we'll see. I believe that looks to be Bryce again on the carry for the Cardinals. Had 27 carries last Friday night over in Iola, Scandinavia. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 10 here coming up, all at the 20-yard line here for the Cardinals. Williams going to roll to his right, going to get it outside in the flats there, and that one tipped, and then that was Teska there. Teska with a heads-up play there. He takes it back. So that will get Auburndale now down to the 5. They'll be in very kind of a flip of possessions there. You had that nice run that Van Wy, and then it shifted things back in Pacelli's favor, but then kind of seesawed right back to Auburndale here. So they're going to have good field position here with 1st and goal here to go from the 5 with the running clock, 5:30 and counting here in quarter number 3. Will Aikens far side there along with Trevor Trowbridge lined up for the Eagles near side. I believe that is Trevin Sievers. And that one, and a 5-yard touchdown run by Becker. So that Becker with a 5-yard touchdown run at the 5:12 mark here. So Becker, Cherney for his 6th extra point. That one is up, and it is good. So Cherney now 6 for 6 on extra points. 5:12 here to go now. It's all Auburndale. 42-0, 5:12 remaining here in quarter number 3. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
Hey Gilbert, did you hear Mittens in Marshfield's running a huge anniversary sale and the savings are explosive?
Yeah, I'm gonna grab a great deal on some furniture and take it easy this semester.
Anniversary? Already? Party!
Ah, Poindexter's lost again.
Oh my cookies!
This store is huge and everyone is so friendly.
You'll geek out over our huge anniversary savings at Mittens in Marshfield.
All right, we are back. Coleman Becker, the 5-yard touchdown run. So Auburndale 4 different guys scoring here tonight. Want to give thanks here tonight to Stevens Point Orthopedics. Stevens Point Orthopedics is proud to provide complimentary sports physicals to Central Wisconsin athletes this fall. Call 715-344-0701 to schedule your appointment. That's 715-344-0701, and that's Stevens Point Orthopedics. Kicked off to Pacelli and Phyllis with another pretty nice run here for Zane Phyllis. A couple Auburndale Eagles to meet, and he's going to take it down into Auburndale territory. So the senior Zane Phyllis providing just some spark there on pretty nice return there for Zane. He's had a couple of those here. He had a pretty nice return back last Friday as well. So Zane, one of 2 seniors on this Pacelli team, certainly not giving up is Zane. So Pacelli now at the 36-yard line here with 1st and 10 with under 4.5 to go in quarter number 3. Williams under center. You've got, they gave out to Flaker. Flaker cuts up to his left, skips down to about the 31 or so, picks up about a 5-yard carry there for Mr. Bryce Flaker. I believe that was. So it'll be 2nd down, 5 yards to go here. Pacelli on the move here again. The running clock will certainly be their biggest factor working against them. Of course, Auburndale Williams single back set, and that's going to be blown up there, and that's a pair of Auburndale. Brennan Welch there, the sophomore, the 5'9", 155-pound sophomore, number 24, Brennan Welch. One of the Eagles in on the plays. That's going to back things up now to about the 36 or so. So that's going to back things up. Ball at the 36 here for Williams and the Cardinals. Williams working directly under center. We're going to get movement here, and I think we're going to get a false start, and we do. So that's going to move things 5 yards back here for the Cardinals. Want to give thanks here tonight to Felt's Dairy. The culture of Wisconsin is forever tied to life on the farm. Bring the family for a visit to Felt's Dairy Store in Stevens Point. Cheeses, dairy products, local meats, seasonal decor, and so much more. That's Felt's Dairy Store, food, family, and fun. 3rd and 15 here to go. Ball at the 41-yard line here. Williams under center with a single back set. He'll work back, works through his progressions. He's going to throw, and he's going to overshoot his intended receiver there, and I believe that was the freshman there, Sam Westrick. You have to think 4-down territory at this juncture of this contest here tonight. 4th and long here for the Cardinals. Fourth and 15 from the 41. Minute 35 here and counting in quarter number 3. Flaker again, the lone back here for the Cardinals at this point, Williams. And that one tipped around, nearly picked off there. That was number 65, I believe. I think. So that is where Auburndale now will take over in their at their own 41-yard line here. So head coach Jay Anderson and his squad putting together a pretty nice season. I know it's still just week number 6 here, but this Eagles team certainly a team to be reckoned with. A high snap there, and that's going to be given over to Coleman Becker. Of course, the aforementioned Coleman Becker had that 5-yard touchdown run at about the 5:12 mark here in this quarter. And with that running clock, you have to think that may have been the last play of this quarter here. It's looking very much to be the case here. And the clock will wind down here, signaling the end of quarter number 3. And 42-0 our score here. Quarter number 4 coming up here. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by the Hoffavor Real Estate Group.
For the best food in town, look no further than Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point. This locally owned, 50s-themed diner loves to support their community while providing a full menu of breakfast and lunch options, along with all-day breakfasts and Friday fish fry. Enjoy a fun, family atmosphere with delicious meals made from scratch, including skillets and tasty burgers. Dine in or take out is welcome, Mondays through Saturdays from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Treat yourself to a mouth-watering experience at the Rock and Roll Cafe on Stanley Street in Stevens Point.
All right, we are back. Zaleski Sports here. I want to give thanks here tonight to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. For all of your tire and auto service needs, look to Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Great deals on tires that fit your needs is a sure thing to get back on the road. That's Sherrill Tire and Auto Service. Tonight's game also brought to you in part by Next Step Prosthetics. Next Step Prosthetics providing prosthetic and orthotics throughout central Wisconsin. Take your next step and contact them today. That is Next Step Prosthetics. So the Eagles now at the 37-yard line. There they take over here, and that was Julian Anderson on the carry. That was his first rushing attempt here for the Eagles. Ball now at the 38. Julian Anderson, one of those, him and Lundgren both share the team lead in terms of interceptions on the defensive side of the football here. A high snap, that's going to be problematic. We're going to get a flag coming in. Fumble on the play. We'll see. Auburndale will get back on that. And flag picked up there, it looks like. So Auburndale will look to be punting here. Back deep is the senior there in Zane Phyllis, who has provided some spark in terms of special teams kick returning here tonight, Zane. Yards have been rather tough to come by here tonight for Pacelli, but snap is up, the kick. And that one's going to be a pretty nice kick there, and that one's going to land around 32. I think that was that Max Nelson maybe that retrieved that one there for the Cardinals. So that is where the Cardinals now will take over with 10 minutes here to go in the game. We'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show at the conclusion of tonight's game. So ball at the 31-yard line here for the Cardinals. 9:37 here to go in this one. Auburndale 14 points in the first quarter, 21 in quarter number 2, and then the 7 points in quarter number 3. Williams back to pass, all kinds of pressure, and that's big number 73. And I believe that's Alexander Becker, the 6', 275-pound sophomore with a big sack there for Auburndale. Again, just the sophomore. This Auburndale team, certainly some very solid depth on both sides of the football, and I believe by my math anyways, around 45 or so suited up here tonight. You've heard a lot of different names called here for the Eagles. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and long now for Pacelli. And a timeout will be called. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favored Real Estate Group.
Does your roof need attention? Don't replace it, restore it with Seamless Commercial Roofing. Our process is guaranteed and a fraction of the cost of replacement with no downtime. When your roof needs attention, call Seamless Commercial Roofing in Marshfield. Is it time to replace your old gutters? Call Schwartz Seamless Gutters and protect your home with new seamless technology. No seams, no leaks. With free estimates in 2 days or less and workmanship guaranteed, our service is as seamless as our gutters.
All right, we are back here. I want to give thanks to all of our game day sponsors, one of them being Dahl Automotive. Dahl Automotive in Stevens Point has over 1,300 vehicles, but they want more. So they'll offer an extra $500 over book value for your trade-in vehicle. Shop DahlAuto.com for the best selection in the area, or stop in to see them at Dahl Honda just off Stanley Street, or at Dahl Chrysler on Highway 10 East in Stevens Point. And again, that is Dahl Automotive. And we want to give thanks to all of these game day sponsors. I can never say it enough, but they truly are very awesome in every sense of the word. Certainly able to allow us to bring these games, all of these just outstanding community sponsors and community partners here. 8:35 here to go in this this one. Handoff. Let's see who that goes to. I think perhaps Flaker, but I don't know that necessarily for sure. I beg your pardon, I think that might have been Phyllis on the carry there. Zane Phyllis. Although I'm having or Grady Smith, I beg your pardon. So that's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14 yards here to go. Ball at the 27-yard line. Phyllis taking a few moves there is Zane Phyllis, and showing some pretty nifty running there is Zane Phyllis. He gets up to the 40-yard line. He's going to be a little short of that 1st down, but you have to think, at this point, you have to think 4-down territory. Of course, you got that running clock going here with 7:20 and counting in this one. 4th and about a yard here to go for the Cardinals. And Phyllis, again, as we mentioned, kind of one of those sparks, both in special teams here tonight. And that one's going to be, I don't know if that was a bad snap or a fumble on the play there. Looks like, did I see a late flag come in? I guess maybe not. Tell you what, Angelica, my eyes are not once what they used to be. It happens when you get just a little bit older. Still pretty good. Still got the 20/20, but can rely on these cheater classes for up close. So ball at the 39-yard line here for Auburndale, and that looks to be number 5, I believe. I believe that is Truxton Becker. Auburndale, you've got Becker there working from the gun. He'll get it out in space. That's number 28. That's Carson Weiler. Weiler, the sophomore. So Truxton completes that one to Weiler. Of course, So that is a name that we heard a lot of last year. Colton Weiler, if I'm not mistaken, for Auburndale. Just a very formidable program, this Auburndale Eagle squad. 2nd and 4 here from the 33. And that one's a give to, let's see who that, I think that was number 28, and that's Weiler again on the carry. So that's going to be first down yardage here for Auburndale. Ball at the 28-yard line with about 5 minutes remaining here in this one. And as we mentioned, we'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Hopefully get a few words. Well, I know it's technically not over yet, but and a pretty nice run there and making a couple guys miss. I think that was Becker again. Beg your pardon, that may have been... That was Becker on the carry. So first down here for Auburndale. And a bad snap. That one's going to get back, and that's going to push things back down to about the 25 or so. Falling on top of that there is Brennan Welch, who was able to fall on top of that one to keep the football here with the Eagles. 4 minutes to go in this one. Again, both teams in action next week. Pacelli, of course, as we mentioned, they'll be on the road over in Sun Prairie against Aurora Catholic, Illinois. And a nice give there and a pretty nice run there and still going strong. So some very spirited running there. Ball's going to be around the 8 or so here, so about a 17-yard gain there. I think that was Welch. Working from the gun, cuts outside, looking to get to his right, still on his feet, and getting down to near the 5, we'll call it the 4-yard line here. So that was going to be now about 4th and 2 yards here to go. And we'll get a timeout called here with 2:33 to go. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. All right, we are back here, 2:33 to go in this one. Auburndale on the move again, looking to try to punch one in here. An opportunity, really, I would say, for a lot of these, a lot of these younger athletes to get some varsity action. To give, that's number 24, and that is going to be nearly untouched. That was Brennan Welch. So Welch, the touchdown run there. At about the 2:28 mark here. So the extra point now, that looks to be, that's Cherney again. Kick is up, and it is good. So it is 49-0 here, 2:28 here to go in this one. You are listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you in part from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group.
At R&R Flooring and Furniture, we sell products that look good and products that last.
You want a great selection at a great price and a company that stands behind their products? You will find Wolfcraft, Ashley, Marshfield Furniture, and more.
Looking to get the best sleep of your life? We have a mattress for you. Get a 15-year non-paraded hybrid mattress for only 25 cents a night, and we also carry adjustable beds. When it comes to flooring, furniture, and mattresses, it's easy. Come to R&R Flooring and Furniture today. That's all it takes.
All right, we are back here. 2:28 remains in this one. Brennan Welch also getting on the scoreboard here for the Eagles. So you've had Coleman Becker, Brennan Welch. You've had Will Akins with a touchdown reception, Peyton Weinfurter with a couple of scores on the ground, another one passing, and then you had Nathan Van Wy with a couple of scores as well. So 5 different Eagles have scored here tonight. And Phyllis going to get swallowed up there around the about the 24 or so there for Zane. So again, kind of one of those situations where you're going to see a little bit really on both sides of the score here tonight in terms of getting some reps in for some of the younger athletes for both squads. So it'll be 1st and 10 here, under minute 50 go in this one. And I believe that is Westrick under center here for Pacelli. And that's going to be handoff bobbled there, fumbled on the play. We'll see Dominic Sackman able to recover that here. The junior, the 6 foot, 175-pound junior. Of course, the younger brother to Timothy Sackman. Timothy in his junior season down at UW Eau Claire. Playing college baseball is Tim. Longtime catcher here back in his days in high school. Westrick going to roll out to his right, the freshman, and he's going to try to get it out to about the 21 or so. Gets maybe, I don't know if he got a yard or not, Angelica. Hard to say. And maybe no gain on the play. So it'll be 3rd and 12 here. Clock running. In all likelihood, probably one would think the final play here coming up in this one. You'll see if they'll try to get one more. That's going to get out to Phyllis. Phyllis doing some nice running there, and Zane Phyllis is going to get a first down, but it's going to mark the end of this football game here, a final out here over at Gerke Park here in Stevens Point. The Auburndale Eagles 49 over the Pacelli Cardinals here, 49-0. We'll have our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Of course, Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield, Curtis, or NasonvilleDairy.com. We'll hopefully get a few words here with Coach Jay Anderson. We'll get our Zaleski Sports Highlight House player, and truthfully, there could be more than one of them. Going to be a tough decision in terms of who that will be. But again, a final here, 49-0. You're listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. Our Nasonville Dairy postgame show coming up here in just a few moments.
Good day. My name is Ken Hyman, and welcome to Nasonville Dairy here in central Wisconsin, Marshfield, Wisconsin, as a matter of fact. Nasonville Dairy actually goes back to 1885. We are the oldest plant in Wood County. When our father brought us here in the early 1960s, We ran 7,500 pounds of milk a day. We now run 1.8 million pounds of milk a day. We buy dairy milk from 200 dairy farmers here in central Wisconsin, produce it, and ship it all over the world. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. This has allowed us to go to a lot of different countries. Our furthest accounts are now in China, Japan, Canada, Saudi Arabia. We do ship to Mexico, as well as a number of other places throughout the world. This is what we call Cheese Making 101. We tried to walk you through the cheese plant today, and we're in hopes that you see our people, what they're doing, and the amount of work that goes into producing the products that we hope you enjoy. We make a lot of different cheeses. We make cheddar, Colby, Monterey, Farmer's Cheese, Pizza Cheese, Quesa Blanca, Quesa de Freer, Seco, Parm, Romano, Asiago, Fontina, Feta Caseri, Cafetieri, Cafla Graviera, 20 different flavors of Monterey, as well as making Edam, Gouda, and Munster. And the cheese...
Kind of, yeah.
Should I interview Weinfurt?
If you want to.
Yeah,
if
we'll
there's
go.
a lineman that stood out, Logan Nagel. Is there
Logan
anybody?
Nagel? Why don't we
there
do
anybody?
two guys? We'll do Nagel and Weinfurter.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll go to around the midfield coach here. Get a few steps in, I suppose. All right, Angelica giving me the, boy, I'm losing paperwork here. Coach Jay Anderson, first of all, Coach, congratulations. You guys come in here, you get a big conference victory on the road, 49-0. We'll talk to a couple of your guys here shortly, but talk about a game like tonight.
Well, I think every game we prepare the same, and we want to focus on how we play the game and who we are and how much improvement we need to have day to day, week to week, and that's always the focus. Really don't focus, and we don't know from week to week. I really respect every team here, and you never know. And we have a nice team. I was hoping for something like this, and it's always a challenge to make sure our guys are prepared. And tonight we came out and did a nice job. I really don't have a lot to. I told the guys we're going to fine tune, and we're going to keep finding things that we have to improve on, just like this one, and they're worth things. But this is one of the cleaner games and better games I think that we put together from start to finish. So.
Yeah, I really saw that, Coach. I mean, you guys spread it around a lot. You had some good play here tonight, certainly by Peyton Weinfurter and Logan Nagel, among many others. I mean, the list goes on and on. But you guys got Abbotsford next week. That's going to be a great football game, I have to think. Two very, very good football programs. Talk about this next week here.
Well, it's definitely going to be a physical, just smash mouth type of game. It always is with them, so I expect the same thing. And we have to come out ready. We have to be able to take them on player by player and just make sure that we're focused, like every week. Same thing, try to get better each day. And they bring such a challenge. They're always fast, they're always physical, they're strong, and they have a tough system. Right? It's a lot of pulling and a lot of deception in the backfield. And again, they just make you cover the whole field, even though it's tight formations. They have speed to the edges, and they're strong, between the tackles. So they're just always good, and they do such a nice job as a coaching staff. So I know they're going to be prepared, and I know it's going to be a very, very difficult game Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely, Coach, but certainly going to be a great one no matter how you slice it. Coach, anything more before we get it over to our Kozaleski Sports Highlight House players here?
Well, I'm just really happy with the way we played tonight, and I just got to say it's all about the blue.
It's fist bump. That's head coach Anderson there. As you mentioned, it's all about the blue here. We're going to start here. I guess we can kind of figure out who we want to start with. We'll go Logan Nagel here first because you really, I think, were one of the guys kind of instrumental in paving the way, and so much happens up front that sets the stage. I mean, Nathan had a great game tonight. Obviously, Peyton played very well. So many different guys, but talk about your role, Logan, on this team as one of the anchors on that line.
I think one of the main things probably just be really physical as a team, as a unit. And I think just be able to drive guys off the ball. It really gives us advantage over teams.
Absolutely, Logan. Anything that you can think of as far as your preparation individually over this next week? And really hard to believe we're going to be going into week 7 already.
Just watching film, being able to see what, what's the word? Can't think of it, tendencies they do as linemen individually or stuff like that. And I just work on my technique and stuff like that during practice. Make sure running plays right.
Absolutely. Well, don't go too far. I'm going to interview Peyton, and then once we do that, then I'll get both of you guys individually counted down in our Zaleski Sports Highlight House. Peyton, first of all, you did it with your legs. You did it with your arm tonight. You had a couple of long touchdown runs. You had that nice touchdown pass. talk about your role with this team. It's certainly a dual threat quarterback.
I just got to do my job. The lineman in front of me had a huge offseason this offseason. We're starting to find our stride. It's just me and Nathan's job to find the big holes that they provide for us. And then in the passing game, I got to get the ball to our playmakers, and they do a great job getting open and making plays.
And you really did that, and again, kind of starts with your line as your O-line kind of paving the way. But certainly you spread the football around. I mean, there's really, and it's not one or two guys. I mean, this is like a very, at least from what I could see, very balanced. You can beat so many people so many different ways. I mean, lots of different names being called tonight. Anything else before you guys go you host Abbotsford?
Yeah, I just got to mentally prepare, take it day by day, and we like to say win every day in practice, get better each day.
Yeah, that's a great message, and your coach kind of mentioned that too. Kind of take it day by day, week by week. You don't want to get too far ahead. I think you guys probably know the drill. I'm not sure or not, but what we'll do is I'll start with you. I'll count you down. I'll go 3, 2, 1. I'll have you look up right pretty much straight ahead and say your name and that you are in the highlight house. Or that you are in the house, I should say. So we'll go 3, 2, 1.
I'm Logan Nagel, and I'm in the house.
He's in the house. We got to give you a fist bump. That's Logan Nagel. We can't forget Mr. Peyton Weinfurter, who's also in the house. We'll go 3, 2, 1.
I'm Peyton Weinfurter, and I'm in the house.
Peyton Weinfurter, fist bump. Nice game. Good luck to you guys against Abbotsford next week. That was our two Zaleski Sports highlight house player, of course, Logan Nagel, who is Coach Anderson. He was one of the guys that, and so much really happens with things on the line. They were like, they were able to kind of make some holes here for some of the guys like Peyton, of course, that we saw. Just a really well-rounded football team. They're going to be hosting Abbotsford, and I have to think that that's going to be just a really good football game next Friday over in Auburndale. Certainly two very good programs, no doubt. Auburndale now moves to 5-1. Stevens Point, Pacelli, on the other hand, they'll move to 2-4 overall. They'll be back on the road next Saturday. That's going to be kind of a neutral site. We'll say they'll be playing Aurora Catholic. It's a school down in Illinois. That game will be on Zaleski Sports next Saturday. That's a 1 o'clock kickoff. And just run through our final scoring here again on our Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Again, Nasonville Dairy with fresh cheese curds made daily. Get your cheese curds, Nasonville Dairy in Marshfield. Curtis or NasonvilleDairy.com. We're going to do one quick run through of our scoring tonight, starting with Nathan Van Wyatt, a couple of touchdowns in quarter number 1. Who we talked about, Peyton Weinfurter ran for a couple long touchdowns tonight, had a 18-yard touchdown pass to Will Akins, and that was back in quarter number 2. And then you get into quarters number 3 and 4. Coleman Becker, we heard his name tonight, had the 5-yard touchdown run, the 5'9" senior here. And that was at the 5:12 mark in quarter number 3. And then Brennan Welch also gets on the board here, had a 4-yard touchdown run at the 2:28 mark. What was also kind of noteworthy, I would say, is really you had 7 extra points good tonight for Cherney. I mean, that was pretty remarkable, I would say. We talked about him a little bit in our Auto Select pregame show here tonight. But again, a final 49 here for Auburndale. The Cardinals here 0. Both teams back in action. As we mentioned, Auburndale will play host to Abbotsford, and the Pacelli Cardinals will hit the road next Saturday down in Sun Prairie. Brandon Barincott on the call here tonight. Angelica doing a great job on our production staff, as always, keeping all of us in line. You've been listening to and watching high school football here tonight on Zaleski Sports, brought to you by our friends from the Hoff Favor Real Estate Group. Have yourselves a very good Friday night and weekend, everyone.